What is up, guys? Welcome to episode 2 of the Punch Bowl, our Yu-Gi-Oh! Themed podcast. I hope you guys are doing well. I hope you're feeling blessed. Today we've got Andy, Himmels, and Nick, and we are going to be talking about a couple things. Firstly, I kind of wanted to start off by discussing, next week we got our regionals, right? And I want to talk about how we're going to prepare for that, what our goals are, because I know each person has different goals for different events. So I want to start with Nick because Nick was not on the episode last week, and I really want to hear his input on what he's expecting to do and to get out of the regionals next week, which is at Unmatched Gaming, by the way. Shout out to Unmatched in Reading, Pennsylvania. Nick, what are you hoping to do at the regionals next week?
Before we get into that, we should have Nick introduce himself, actually. Let's get the audience a little bit more acquainted with
I'd love to hear that.
All right. Well, hello, everyone. My name is Nick.
Nick.
And then do you guys want me to just do the intro like how you guys did?
Sure, man. Yeah, just
Sure.
tell us a little bit about yourself, what got you into Yu-Gi-Oh!, stuff like that.
What got me into Yu-Gi-Oh! Was first was whenever I was like maybe 5 years old. I opened my first little packs and had no clue what I was doing. And then later, way later, Jake showed me actually how to truly play Yu-Gi-Oh! And it was a blast. He showed me my first packs that I put together, and he showed me kind of like a deck with a structure deck, was an Atlantean deck, and it was really, really fun.
Oh, I remember that.
Really fun. And I think Jake played windups.
Oh, I love windups.
He slapped my butt
Hand looping people, bro.
My deck could do nothing. So yeah, that's kind of how I started.
And that was like before Neptibus came out too.
Yeah.
Even
Oh my god,
Yeah,
Neptibus
was
is such a crazy card.
And then
yeah,
fast tracking again, didn't touch the game for a long time. And then Jake again got me back in. And I don't know what deck I was playing. I think it might have been zombies or
probably
gravekeepers or even Dino Shaddolls or some kind of funny thing. But yeah, those were really fun times. But here we are, and right now I'm playing Branded Despia. Brandon Despia.
Playing Brandon.
And for the regional that's coming up, I just got the deck. I've been testing it quite a bit online, but I'm mostly just hard testing on Dueling Book and testing a lot in person with these guys as much as I can. I am trying to get an invite. That's it. That's basically it. That's my only goal.
it's just you and Swartley who need their invites at this point, and Pap, but Pap never wants to play meta. I don't blame him.
Hey, we're getting him on. What's it? Incharia Rune. That deck's crazy.
Pap could do it if he wanted to, but I don't think advanced competitive Yu-Gi-Oh is what Pap's interested in at the moment. But Nick, you're getting that top next week, bro. You're getting that invite. Hell, you're gonna win the whole thing.
Great.
That's what I'm saying.
Dude, Modder's gonna be sitting down, bro. Teach me how you did that Despia combo.
You special summon Dragoon.
No, but
and pass.
Sometimes that's enough.
Honestly.
Special summon Jinzo.
But yeah, I kind of don't really care how I do at the regionals in terms of like I care how I do, but not like I'm not like gonna be upset if I like bust out or like bubble. I'm just gonna kind of like go in trying to like perform really well to get like prizing, and then see how my Labyrinth deck holds up for. I'm mainly just using it as like practice for
more testing.
The YCS. Yeah.
I feel like that's how it is a lot of the times when you have your invite. It's like you go into these regionals and you go into them. It's like you feel like you have a lot more on the line when you don't have your invite. You have a lot you're really fighting for. And then once you have it, it's like, okay, you go to these regionals, you sign up, you're like, okay, I want the cool mat, I want the deck box. I want to say I got top 8 at a regional. But it's like, once you go like X2, like depending on the size of the regional, but like once you're like X2-1, it's like you're never getting top 8. So a lot of times people already have their invites, they drop at that point because it's like, okay, like if I get 13th, it's the same thing as like getting 75th because like I don't get anything more out of it, which isn't like a bad thing. Like you said, it's a great opportunity to test, but I feel like I might have mentioned this last week. It's like that was my favorite part of regional season last year was like every regional was like, oh, okay, I'm going in. I need to get my invite. And I always felt like there's something on the line every round that I played.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure. That makes a lot of sense. I wonder how Andy's feeling about it because the last regionals like that we went to, which was like 2 weeks ago, he literally just got his invite. So I want to know if Andy's going for all the bacon or what's going on.
Yeah. So for me personally, since I did get my invite, shout out to Sourcel. Thank you for carrying me. Especially you, Isolde. I love you so much.
Isolde?
Isolde.
You did not play Isolde, Andy.
Yeah, Isolde got me the win, bro. Isolde is a crazy card, man. That card's free. Irish Sourcel, my bad.
He's just kept going with it.
Yeah,
summoning Isolde and Sourcel.
Yeah, so normal summon
combo.
And then I normal summon Tai and I win. No, but now with the regional that's coming up, I am getting excited to go to the very first YCS. Well, I would say, I participating in my very first YCS, regardless if I do
one of all time.
Regardless if I want to do the main event or if I want to do side events, we're still gonna have a good time.
You gotta play the main event. It's so
I'll definitely play the main event and see how it goes.
Yes, sir.
For originally, I did say that I was gonna play ninjas. And depending on what happens, it's either still going to be ninjas, or we're going to be playing the Sprite Runic variant of Sprite, which I think after playing with like a different variants, I think I own all 3 different variants currently.
Sprite?
Yeah, of Sprite, Tri Brigade, Evil Twins, and then
like
the Runic
and Pure.
Yeah, how are you liking Sprite this meta, by the way? I think a lot of people are trying to figure out what to do with Sprite. And since you're kind of versed in all the variants, what are you thinking for this format?
So for this format specifically, it does suck that we don't have Elf.
Yeah,
like Elf.
That's why
actually.
What about next format? Is it gonna suck next format too, or what?
I don't think the deck sucks. I think the deck.
I meant not having Elf, but
it's still gonna. It's so rough, actually. Like once that carrot's gone, it's gone, man. Or that toad, it's not coming back. But the way that I like to play the decks, especially like with Evil Twin and Runic, is that you treat the Sprite engine as like support for the main engine, which would be like Evil Twin or Runic. Runic goes crazy. Just being able to like use fountain. It's just so broken of a card to just draw 3.
Because I was gonna say, in my experience facing the deck, right, the hard part right now is like Elf was your follow up, and you like in pure variant, you don't have follow up anymore. Consistent follow up, and the Runic variant, maybe it's not as like consistent follow up as like Elf always summoning back like blue and then searching it or whatever, but. I mean, being able to draw 3 cards like every turn is pretty good.
It's incredible.
Oh yeah,
I would agree. I would tend to agree with
crazy.
that. Drawing 3 is really strong, especially when they're hand traps. Their hand traps are. I mean, you're just balling, and then who cares if you lose your battle phase? I mean, I'm gonna deck you out before I worry about my battle phase. But definitely just focus on the Runic variant for now. Okay. But I think that Sprite itself is a good deck, and it's a really good engine just to support other like different archetypes. So yeah.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, that makes. I mean, I got off of Sprite. You're the warrior. I mean, I played Sprite since Pote, and I got off the deck because I couldn't handle no elf.
Yeah.
And there were strokes of like genius too at some points where I'd be like, oh, the deck feels great right now, but then like I would go like 6 games in a row of just feeling so bad without elf, and I'd be like, I can't do it anymore. Like it feels like they just, I don't know. Took the handlebars off a bike.
I feel that. What's crazy is that both my lists too, I don't play sprint. I feel like sprint kind of like leads you to like, you know, if sprint gets negated, you just sort of pass if you don't have anything else, which sucks.
I think it's kind of what you were talking about too. It's like you're using it as not necessarily like the main focal point of your decks for either of them, right?
No.
If you're playing like pure sprite right now, you have to play sprint because sprint is like
interruption.
Sprint gets you to multiple interruptions, basically.
Yeah, and the thing about sprint isn't even like, because I was saying, Andy, like I think you should play sprint even if you're not playing the nimble package, just because like it is that extra disruption when you have an Xyz, which is in sprite kind of like having as much as you can for the value that you're already putting on board is like. That's why Sprite's so good, is because you can like maximize value out of like very little resources.
Man. Beaver blue plus starters is like broken.
Bro, Nimble Beaver is my favorite. Like, it's one of my favorite cards at this point. Like, Nimble Beaver is so crazy. It's bro, it's literally tour guide on crack. It's so good. Back when Elf was alive, Andy, I wish you could feel how good it felt to go 1 Nimble Beaver equals full board.
Yeah.
It was such a good feeling, man. And like your opponent just looking at you because you won dice roll and you now have triple toad, like you smashers plus double cross. Bro, this feels so good.
Frog was legal. Yeah,
one of the things I was talking about with one of my friends that's still trying to make one of my other friends that's still trying to make Sprite work is I feel like I haven't played the deck really. I've messed around with it a little bit, but not this format. I feel like in theory, the other thing that makes it difficult at times is I don't think it has very good meta matchups right now, like at all.
Yeah.
Like I think Labyrinth is really hard for that deck to deal with. Because that deck, that deck's just gonna outgrind you.
The runic cards really give it a boost for Sprite.
The rune, I think. Well, that's what I was saying. I was like, I think the runic. If you play the deck right now, I think the runic variant is like, probably in theory the best. So it's like the most well-rounded version. I just think
that runic is good right now in general.
Yeah,
and I think that Sprite just meshes very well with it. Like, cause like circling back to what you and Andy had originally talked about, where it's like. Sprite is not the main engine at this point.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, it can't be because it loses to. This is a very like. Well, apart from like Kashtira, right? Most of the other decks set up like interactions and like hard disruptions, which Sprite doesn't necessarily do very well against, like playing into. Yeah. And that without the follow up, a lot of these other decks are also really really grindy. Yeah. Just naturally, and Sprite just isn't anymore. But Runic helps kind of. It helps with that quite a bit. And it gives Sprite like more hard interactions every turn that they wouldn't usually have this format, at least without Elf.
Right.
I don't know what it is either, but it's like I've seen so many Sprite players, especially the pure variants, they're like their hands they brick like half the time. Sometimes it's like if you normal summon Beaver and then they negate it, like even though Beaver sometimes is not worth to negate, but if they negate it and you have nothing else, you just sort of like set 2 pass, and it's like
and
everyone can draw like you, bro.
and I think the reason behind that is because like Sprite is while it's like technically 1 card combos, it's like it's really 1.5 card combos, and you have to run so many non-engine cards in Sprite now that it just like it's like if you don't get that first card off, you really do just feel so bad.
Yeah.
I mean, every runic card.
Or like sometimes you have like you get to a choke point in the deck where it's just like okay, I have like a really weird normal summon that doesn't get me anywhere, or it's like even if I have this normal summon and it gets me to gigantic, like I don't have anything past gigantic if gigantic gets negated.
Yeah.
Drawing
okay.
drawing runic tip is like the craziest thing ever, dude.
Yeah,
bro,
like
I was playing against Andy, the
what do
other
you know
night,
about getting
bro.
Eradicated for spells.
Andy was testing his little runic sprite against my labyrinth deck, and I swear to God, 3 rounds in a row, I would go prosperity, search evenly, going second. And he would go, I would go prosperity banish. He'd go, yeah, tip. And then after I added the evenly, he'd add dispelling. And just every time, 6 cards in hand, he would discard the evenly out of my hand, bro. Every single time I was like, man, this is just feeling so bad right
It's
now.
crazy. It's actually disgusting to go
Yeah.
chain tip on prosperity.
And then I'd be like, yeah, man, you hit the evenly. He'd be like, oh, banish 4.
You'd be like, yeah, you got to banish.
I was like,
by
yeah,
the
sure,
way,
man, I'll
bro.
banish 4.
Yeah, and then you banish all your ladies.
Yeah. Oh, Sag.
Good times.
You know what deck I really want to mess around with again, but like
Sky
I
Striker.
don't because I'm scared. Is Dragon Link, dude? Like
Oh.
I want to
gonna get
test
your
it
heart
so
broken
bad,
again?
but that's what I'm saying, man. That's what I'm saying. Like without Chaos Ruler, I just don't know. Like the deck needed that gas, and I
It's
just
really
don't know.
glass
Like
cannony now. I feel.
yeah, it's like it's.
And I think
Sometimes-
it's another one of those
Sad.
decks that's gonna struggle a lot into the current meta matchups because like honestly, like what is your end board in that deck now? Like it's
Seals, tidying pass, or something
It's
like
like
that.
seals, it's seals, tidying, and like Borrowland, but that just means you
Yeah.
auto fold to like
And
you
the
actually
thing
just
is,
fold to Labyrinth.
I've
You-
always been under the impression that if you make Borland like turn 1, you're not playing the deck correctly.
I think
I
like
agree.
in certain metas it's fine, but like there's so many trap decks right now that Borderlands not
'Cause-
very good.
Well, the problem too is like if they can out Borland, you lose your win con. Whereas like
Borland
if you
pass
just
is so
save the
subpar.
Borland, you just like you want to game with it. And if you're
Mhm.
just like setting it up like and they can out it, you're just kind of like which everyone can out it because everyone's playing like kaijus right now.
Mhm.
Everyone's
One
playing
imperv.
lava golems, sphere modes. Yeah, seriously.
Imprim's really
Um,
common, yeah.
Thrust.
Book of Moon, Book of Eclipse.
Yeah,
Yep.
thrust to take.
my God.
Yeah, Book of Mooning a Link monster.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, not Book of Moon, but
No, I know
sorry,
what you're saying,
I
bro.
had Borreload Savage in my mind for some reason, and I was like,
Yeah,
because I was thinking of like
Himmel's-
what I think would be better to end on turn 1. I'm like, oh yeah, just end on like Seal, Savage, and like tidying like an old end board, basically.
Well, and the thing is that Dragon Link's always struggled against branded, and now that Kashtira is just has a macrocosmos on legs, it's like, what does Dragon Link actually do in the format right now?
Like,
And then like
you're always
Runic
folding
pops
to
your
Labyrinth.
normal summon and you fold.
You're folding to Labyrinth like automatically for the most part.
Absolutely,
Like you just
yeah.
lose that matchup. You probably lose the Trap Tricks matchup too, honestly.
Yeah,
You lose the branded matchup, I think,
Mm-hmm.
and then you probably beat Kashtira if you go first, but like
yeah.
if you lose die roll versus Kashtira, it's like actually unplayable.
I think that like the deck could have had a fighting chance if it still had like the Brave Hulk Chaos Ruler lines.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Because when you have that much gas, it doesn't really matter what you lose to.
For sure.
But that could be said about a lot of like base decks, but I truly do think that like Dragon Link kind of just did it best.
Yeah, you never got to play that deck. Like,
I know.
either.
I built it and then like I was like gonna play it and then it was like Hulk got banned.
Dude,
I'm so
when that
sad.
deck was legal with Hulk, like that was gross.
But
It's
I
so
did get to
gross.
play it, bro. This deck was so fun. This deck was so slept on, and I wish more people got to play it during Brave format. Was Brave Punk PK.
Oh my
Dude.
God.
Synchro like Wonder Magician, Scythelock, and PK is crazy.
you
Just as
played
it
that,
is in
like,
every deck.
for 2 days?
Exactly
one event.
And it was so fun. It was so fun.
I played Punk PK for like one day, and it was funny.
It's okay.
Just
That was
'cause,
like
like, you
the
had two
one
names.
of 2 events I played Marincis at. So that same event.
Princess.
I still have that
Marincess
deck like close
is-
to max rarity. it's
It's
just, like
it's
sitting there,
almost
though,
a
'cause
it's a really good rogue deck. I think Marincess
it's
is
gotten some
really good.
regional tops recently, actually. So I
Yeah.
know some people are picking up the cards again,
Mhm.
and like maybe I really like Labyrinth right now, but maybe
Yeah,
I'll
me
give
too.
give Marincis a whirl at locals
I mean,
sometime. I don't know how people are building it though. Like, but
if you're going second, you're making Zealantis and you're just clearing the board.
I need a Zealantis, dude. I don't own one.
I got you.
The crazy thing is right now, like, besides, like, because I'm having a blast with Labyrinth, I don't know if I wasn't playing Labyrinth right now, I don't know what other deck I'd be having fun with, like, at the moment. Like, I think Labyrinth is really the only, like, top deck that I enjoy.
Well, I've never really liked Branded, so I was never gonna play Branded, right?
Yeah, I'm just not a fusion guy personally.
I like Tier.
Some guys
Tier
are
was a lot of
fusion
fun,
guys.
but Tier,
Some
like,
guys are
Tier
fusion
also
guys.
calling
Tier,
Tier a
like,
fusion deck.
I know, right?
Sounds
Tier
weird.
was just like Tier is its own thing. Like it doesn't feel like a fusion deck. You're literally playing your own game, playing that deck, and that's what made it really fun to me.
Yeah,
I mean, I like fusion cards. I like Shadal. Shadal's really fun.
Winda. Shadal, bro. I miss Duelist Alliance format.
Yeah, and then I don't like Cash either. That deck just seems like really boring to me.
Yeah, I agree. The deck like seems.
The deck has a bunch of cool micro mechanics that, like, when put together, are really, really broken. Right?
Yeah.
Like locking a couple zones, cool, whatever. That's kind of fun. Like in Ojamas. I know Nick loves Ojamas, bro.
I love locking zones with Ojamas.
Like zone locking, cool, whatever. Banishing from the extra deck, cool, that's fine in moderation. Banishing some cards off your opponent's deck, cool, whatever. Put all of them together, I'm just like, that's not very fun. Maybe it's fun if you're playing the deck, but like I like interacting. Like my favorite part, I like interactive decks for the most part. Decks that like, it feels like there's like I'm able to outplay my opponent while using them. And when I'm playing, like I played a couple games of Cash, and I was just like, it's not like stopping your opponent. It's not like, I timed my interactions properly, so I won. It's like, I locked 5 of their zones and set up a towers. Not towers, but I set up a macro. I've set up Dryden plus macro.
It's not as rewarding.
Yeah, that's how I feel. That's why I've always kind of liked the control decks for the most part. It's like, I feel like I have to time my interactions well.
I do think that
drain.
Like,
Timing skill drain.
When Cash gets cheaper, I will be playing it because, like,
same.
I don't like playing against it, but when I think about it, I'm like, I think I would like playing it.
It's actually pretty cool.
But I can't tell, so I'm waiting until the cards get cheaper.
I think the deck is
because
really
if I
cool.
build it on Dueling Book, I'm just going to want to buy it. There's no way around it.
It's really cool. I just like, because watching one of my friends play it yesterday, Ethan, talking about you, bro. He was new to it, but literally the way, like, being able to go Arise Heart, like banish something, and then if like, also it's like if they go unicorn to like negate, and then they go like, as long as they have birth, they are playing the game. Like, it's kind of correct, regardless if you banish their any of their Kashtira monsters. Birth on the field is like full combo, and it's broken.
Yeah, it's to like add on to that. I know we talked about how like everyone's like, oh, the deck folds to Nibiru, it folds to Kaijus, it folds to Lava Golem Sumo. It's like, yeah, for that turn, but like the deck's recovery is actually like pretty underrated. I feel like that's something that people haven't really thought about, is like, if you can't deal with that birth, they are going crazy every single turn.
I think the deck's like pretty fine. It's like the deck's almost fair, I think a lot of people have echoed the sentiment that like, if Diablosis goes like that, which is basically enables the whole 5 zone lock thing, right? The deck's fine. Like, who cares?
Yeah,
because you're never gonna like you're always gonna have a chance to play against that deck. Like if they go a Rise Heart pass, I don't care. I don't mind playing.
Yeah, that's not very scary.
Or if they go one stronger era, lock 2 of your zones, 2 or 3 of your zones, and then they summon out a Fenrir and they have an Arise Heart. Cool, that's fine.
Yeah,
that's like fine to play against. The only time it's not fun is the fact that they have the potential. Granted, it's not very common. They have to have like open field spell and like 2 extenders. But they could lock 5 of your zones, then you're just stuck there. You're like, okay, I can't play the game. Like I cannot activate a card that will do anything in this game state.
Right.
I miss PK.
Oh my.
Andy.
PK, bro. Fogblade goes
Did
crazy.
you see?
All right, let's go into this. This is something I mentioned I was gonna bring up. Okay, what's everyone's favorite like pet deck that they have or
Burning
or
Abyss.
that they've played?
Burning Abyss.
Oh, it's
Best.
got to be Mech Knight Orcists. Oh my god.
That's fun.
That's
I'm-
that's a good one.
I'm
Nick.
not gonna lie, it was either between PK or Madolche's.
Madolche is a good one.
Madolche is just it's such a fun deck. It's so bad now because
Oh, bro,
Dude,
Madolche is so
my
annoying to
favorite's
play
Harpies.
against.
Okay, that deck has like not been good for how many years? 10
Yeah.
years.
You know what?
dude?
I might
Like-
just I might
like-
just repick the deck up and just see how it goes. The deck is so bad.
Super heavy samurais.
Oh,
I remember when I was
Horror
like
curse.
I remember specifically like a while ago, like when I was just starting Yu-Gi-Oh! I had my Blue Eyes, and then from Blue Eyes I was like trying to find another deck, and so Jake told me to do six samurai.
How'd you go from Blue Eyes to Six Sams?
I think-
Andy's played everything, bro.
Dude, Six Samurais is like, I know I don't have quite the same memories of it as like some other people. I know people like back when I first started playing, what was it, like 12, 15 years ago, dude?
Yeah.
They hated, or whenever Shien came out, right? They
Oh,
hated Six Samurais, dude. That deck was like so
Six
obnoxious to play against.
It was.
Let's get to Shien, let's get to Natbeast, and then I'm gonna have like one of the most broken like archetype cards of all time. Gateway, just
Gateway is
forever like getting your
ridiculous.
resources.
Bruh.
when you have to explain to your opponent what like the infinite loop is, and they're just like, yeah, dude, I guess you could just special for free.
Dude, it wasn't even like that back then in the day. Like it was just like, hey, this card's broken. Also, like Shien was a house to deal. That card was so difficult to deal with. Along, obviously, Natbeast. Natbeast is still an issue to deal with for a lot of decks.
yeah,
Oh,
right.
absolutely.
When
That
when
card's
they make
disgusting.
Nappies and you've got like 4 spells in hand.
yeah, it's
Yeah,
usually
It'd be
you
like that.
me playing. What was I playing? I played Sky Striker at one locals a couple
Oh,
weeks ago. I played against somebody playing. This was like, but right before the last ban list, and they were playing Naturia. The Shizu Naturia deck, and they end on what's the Oh, okay. They ended on Natbeast plus Naturia Bamboo Shoot. I'm just like,
Oh my god.
I'm like,
It's wraps.
you couldn't leave it with one of you had to like make it so I couldn't activate spells like twice. Dude. Like,
Yeah, right.
That's
like,
so awesome.
Successfully getting
I
out.
look at my
Bamboo
hand of
Shoot.
5 spells. I'm like, yeah, man, you got it.
I will say, like, once that quarter century secret rare comes out for Dante, bro, I will be cooking something
Ooh.
up for Burning Abyss.
Me picking up the engage. Oh,
Oh.
I actually just picked up 2 more secret engages.
That's a
Like,
good
It's
Didn't they-
alt art, right? I gotta look at what that alt art looks
it's
like.
the new alt art. It looks kind of cool.
Have
I
you
mean,
seen-
it's not the
alt
same as the
art.
original like OG secret first, but
I think.
Yo,
I mean,
that's
it looks
kind of
cool. I mean,
hard.
I have
Not
to buy
gonna
them.
lie, dude.
what do you say?
I.
That's hard. That is a nice.
It goes pretty hard. Yeah.
You know,
I mean,
it's
I have
also
to buy them,
crazy.
So,
Is the alt art
Wow.
invocation?
dude, the alt art
Mhm.
invocations, all the alt arts coming out in that
I gotta. I gotta look
what is
at
it? The
that one,
25th
too.
century set. What's it
Yeah.
called?
I
Oh,
think
it's the new
just-
Battles of Legend, right? Battles
Battle-
of Legend.
That art is sick, bro. Imagine an
Monstrous
alt art
Revenge,
Dante. Oh my god.
I would say like just
There's no
because-
way they alt art Dante, right?
That would be so
No, I think they've
cool.
announced like all the lost arts, or not. Lost
Oh
arts,
my
all the
God,
alt
I
arts.
would-
That would be so cool, man.
I would poop myself. I really would.
the
Is
alt.
that what you would do?
Like, oh,
Yeah.
it looks so good. Oh, it's so
We've seen what the
crazy.
OCG ones look like, right? The OCG ones are crazy. But OCG always has like really cool rarities, and we
They
have-
do.
Oh yeah. Speaking of Isolde, Andy, what do you guys think of that stupid Infernoble?
Oh my god, the new Infernoble cards. I
I
haven't
know.
like experimented enough. Well, I haven't looked enough into it to know, but all I know is I don't have fun whenever Infernoble's meta.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
I
hate-
don't
How
really
many
like
times
that
do they
deck
summon in a turn?
enough.
Enough for
Enough.
them to
Enough.
not matter anymore.
Um,
I tried
the
it out
last time
once.
I took a break from Yu-Gi-Oh was when Infernoble was hand whipping people
God.
with yeah, with what's it called? Smoke grenade.
They're hand ripping for 2 again.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. That's my favorite.
And setting up full board while doing it. It's like Baron Appaloosa and then whatever that.
Yeah, go ahead, play
else
through it.
Infernoble does all their stupid little equip cards down there, dude.
The new cards are cool. They have new spell cards, new equip cards. But what's really exciting is the new Link that they're coming out with.
Is really
the
cool.
3,000 attack.
It's
Link
really
one.
cool.
It's really cool. It does provide it's like, okay, I have to sacrifice Charles, but guess what? The Link's just gonna gain Charles's abilities.
It's cool how they like retrained the boss almost.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's a cool like new mechanic.
But it is cool that they did that, but like, why for that deck, man? Why like couldn't they have done it for like a cool deck? Yeah, dude.
That to be fair, there's always gonna be somebody complaining though, and there are a lot of people that really, really like Infernoble. So like, good for them. I just personally don't like facing that deck.
It's just so frustrating because it's like, do you have like disruption? No, you lose.
Okay, cool. Yeah.
Do you have disruption? Yes, you win. It's like,
has anyone like seen how they make the boards? It's still fragile, like the old Infernoble boards. Like, can it?
I haven't watched the new combos.
You've just seen the end boards. Like, I don't know. I'm interested to see how like fragile the board is to interactions, because if it's fragile to interactions and people just play like hand traps and it's like, whatever.
Yeah.
Granted, you still have to see the hand traps, but it's fine.
At least they don't have Auroradon anymore.
Yeah.
Hulk can throw Auroradon, and then you just lose.
I miss Hulk Auroradon.
No, you don't.
Yeah, I know you do.
It
You
was
think
so
you do.
much
You think
fun.
you do.
Yeah,
Until you face it.
Sword Soul of all decks should not have been the one of using it that
I
hard there at
never
the
got
end.
to see Protos too. Oh my god.
That's actually wild that it was Sword Soul that was
Got
what
it
broke.
banned.
That was
Sword Soul got it
banned
because it's like, okay, now a synchro deck's doing it. This deck is literally only plays synchros. Besides this,
I think the Protos was some icing.
Drawing
bro.
Despot.
Oh my god.
Yeah, drawing Despot. I've normal summoned Despot to combo before, for sure.
Despot, bro. That was I like when you play a break in a deck, I'm okay with it if it looks cool. But Despot didn't look cool. It was common. I was like, bro, that's the worst break I've ever played in my
colored
deck.
What if there's an ultimate rare Despot 001? Then what?
That'd be actually sweet. That would be. I would play it then. That would be awesome. Common.
Do you guys have any cool? So I know a lot of people. A lot of people in our group specifically. I know quite a few people that collect like random ultimate rares. Do you guys have any like random old ultimate rares or anything you want to like, any old cards you want to just like pick up just for the sake of having them?
I have this.
Yeah.
I have this old. I'm looking at it in my book right now. This old Dark World ultimate rare.
Which one?
It's Latinum Exarch of Dark World.
What in the world is? How do you
I
even
have
spell
it.
that, dude?
I could like try and. I'm sure you can't see that very well, but
Wait, let me see.
I got it
Oh,
because Andy had it in his book. He like got some old cards off a friend, and I wanted it off Andy. I picked it up for like $1, and I've just held on to it ever since. I just think it's cool.
I was telling some of our other buddies what I want. I want to get every single ultimate rare from Crossroads of Chaos. That's that is the most nostalgic set for me because it's the first. That's the first booster box I opened. I think I might have mentioned that last week, but that's the first box I ever opened.
Mm-hmm.
And like it has Black Rose is my favorite card in the game, and obviously that Black Rose came in Crossroads there. So that set, it has like, it's like really nostalgic to me. So I'm like, okay, I want to get every single ulti from that set. I have a few of them already, which is kind of cool. I have like, and I don't really, it's for my own collection, so I don't care about the rarity, you know, as long as the front looks decent enough and it's not beat. Like the back could be all beat up. It could have like, you know, a little bit of like edge wear and stuff. I don't care. I just want to have like the ultis. Granted, that set has some expensive ultis in it, but because that had Plague Spreader and Black Rose. But
bro, that was back when Walmart used to sell booster boxes.
Yeah, but
that was
Crossroads you could not get first ed boxes of. Fun fact. I know some
I
people
thought
know this,
there
but
was
some
like a.
people don't
I
know
thought
that.
there was like a small run of them. Is there
Not
none
boxes.
at all?
You could
That's
get first
crazy.
ed packs only in tins, and like I think sneak. Maybe was it like the sneak previews or something? But or maybe the special. Maybe there were. It might have been special editions you could get first eds in.
Is
But
it
you
they
could
just
not
didn't
get first
do
edition
booster
boxes
boxes?
of that or the Duelist Genesis.
I'm
So
looking
the first two
through.
sets of 5Ds.
I'm looking through my binder. I collect like random ultis that are like not worth anything. One of them.
I think everyone does that. I picked up some random old ulti off of Splendid Rose. I picked up a Splendid Rose ulti a couple weeks ago, just because I thought that card looks really nice, and I like plant cards.
I have a Photon Veil, which is like a spell card. I have Sergeant Electro. I have a Wind Up Kitten. My very first ulti that I ever picked up was from this kid. Stingy kid, you know who you are. I don't even know if you want to listen to this.
Oh, you're still so mad.
Oh, Andy's making
you're pissed.
It was an ulti Rottweiler.
Oh, that's cool though.
And he had 3 of them, and I wanted to pick up. Like he had one that was really nice, and then 2 others. One of the 2 was like more decent than the other one. So I wanted the one that looked more decent, but he was like, "No, I think I'm gonna keep the second one." And I'm just like, "Bro, just sell it to me." So I picked up I still love him. Rottweiler. It's like a really fun card. And then a card that was given to me as well. That's like a random card in here that I have is it's a German limited edition Formula Synchron from the calendar, the advent calendar.
Oh, that's cool.
This was in the friend group apparently with like Sean gave me this card and said, "I know you like random crap, so here you go."
That checks out.
And so I love it. It's a really cool card and it means a lot. You know, I keep cards that my friends give me. They mean value more than, $5.
Yeah, my first ulti I got for Christmas. I think I was probably still in elementary school. It was a rapid fire magician from Elemental Energy. No significance. I think my parents probably just went on eBay and Googled Yu-Gi-Oh cards and picked one. But yeah, I was looking through my old because I've like I know some of you have like some of you guys like might remember this. Do you remember the really really old? I think there were like 4 pocket, like almost mini binders that had like Yugi and Kaiba on them.
Yes.
I have 4 Yugi binders, and I was looking through those like a couple days ago, and I found that card. I was like, oh my gosh, there's that. And I when I was younger too, I opened up like 12 or something loose packs of the raw yellow mega packs.
Yeah.
And I found all like the hollows I pulled from those that I had sorted into the binders and stuff. I was like, wow. I used to kind of take care of my cards when I was at some point.
Yeah.
I'm like, I was better organized with my binders then than I am now. Like, on God.
What's your guys' like most hype card pool?
I'll let you guys go first because I just finished talking.
I think mine was probably back in like the Dragon Ruler days. It was like I was like first starting to like understand competitive, and so I wanted to build Dragon Rulers. But I was like, I don't know, I didn't have like money. I was like, I was like a teenager, like early teens. So I just didn't have money. So I was like, I could only like make decks out of like what I pooled. But I remember I brought in a bunch of like cards from my binder and I traded them into the shop to get enough credit to buy a Tachyon Galaxy box. So I did it and I pulled a Draco sack, which was like at the time was like $150 secret rare, and it was like the first time I'd ever like pulled like a money card, pulled anything sweet, and I was like, sheesh. And I used it like in every deck I built for like the next 3 months. I was like, Draco Sack has to be in the extra.
It has to. It's like, how are you making it? You're like, I don't know, but it's going in there.
Yeah, it's got to be in there. Yeah. Oh, good times, man.
I think over time, I think the one that I've been getting used to using has been Dragoon, unfortunately. You made me use it, Jake, whenever I played Subterrors, and ever since it's just kind of been sitting in there. He just goes, man. It's really silly.
Yeah, bro.
It's a
he's
house.
kind of
That
sweet.
and Zeus. I just love just running engines that
Zeus
run
is so sweet.
Zeus. Any engine that can get to that card.
Zeus has got to be it has to be like top 10 coolest cards in the game, like on most players' lists.
Dude, I like Zeus so much more now that it's not able to be literally just turboed out for free and like
you have to get there in
like,
cool ways.
In the Tri-Brigade like Zoo format, that card was like not okay, but like that card's like completely fine now because it's not just, hey, I'm gonna normal summon any Zoo monster, go Borbo, attack directly, and make like a 6-match Zeus.
That's
right?
That's really funny.
But I know it's frustrating, but Tri-Zoo was the coolest Tri-Variant.
Oh, I ran
Tri-Zoo was
that deck,
so
dude.
sick.
That deck was a lot of fun.
Oh man,
that was the deck I ran after I when I got back into paper play after COVID, because I was playing a lot online or whatever. But then I was like, oh, I saw our locals was like having some more tournaments again, and I was like, oh, okay, cool, I'm gonna start going. Mm-hmm. So I got all the Tri-Brigade because I'd built Bird up for remote duels or whatever, but I hadn't started going like in person to anything yet. So I had all the Tri stuff for Bird up, and I was like, oh, I just need the Zoo cards. Ordered all the Zoo cards, and I played that deck for like 2 months until they hit Dryden and Barrage.
Oh my god.
Again.
Yeah, sad. I would love to play Tri-Zoo
and it would have been
again.
fine. I'm gonna be honest. Like they could just ban Rap here, and like that deck's completely fine.
Bring back Dryden.
You know what deck is always toxic when it's good is Drytron, bro.
God.
Why can't that deck ever just like play
that
something
deck's good
cool?
right now.
Like, of course it's
comboing
good.
off just to get a.
Do you know what's crazy?
Ruler?
So Jake and I both play Labyrinth. Labyrinth has a really, really bad Drytron matchup.
Bro, I was just playing Rated earlier.
It's not
and
good.
I got trounced by a Drytron.
Dude, that's
player.
why, like, we were at local. I tied against Drytron, and I'm just like, okay, so maybe I know I'm, like, a better player, but that matchup is hard.
It was so bad, dude. He just had everything.
And if you go looking at, like, you know, like, Labyrinth Facebook groups or Discords or whatever, everyone's just like, yo, what do I do against Drytron? And everyone in the comments is always just like, oh, you just fold that matchup. Like it's like you just lose. It's like,
it's like your cards don't really disrupt their plays almost. Anywhere.
Yeah, you have to see because Terrace of the Overwrit doesn't do anything, right? Because you can't summon the Drytron names from grave with that card.
Yep.
The only thing
so what are you going to give them their ritual spell back
with it by setting one of their spell cards that will then be live next turn.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's like it's kind of a feels bad deck to face. Granted, if Drytron's like becomes super meta or whatever, you start citing cards like Different Dimension Ground, and then they can't play the game.
Well, but like once they get Vanity's Ruler on board, you kind of just lose because like that's like your.
You have to see Terrors of the Overroot or like Compulsion.
Yeah,
I hate
Terrors of the Overroot, giving them back Ben 10.
That card.
That
oh my god, I hate that card.
Drytron's always so toxic.
They just have really good cards that are just
if
crazy.
they have Vanities, you can't Terrors the Vanities unless they have
anything.
if they have a spell in the grave. They have to have a spell in grave.
Yeah.
Well, you can't even Terrors when they have Vanity.
You could set a spell.
Yeah.
Well,
I just would hate to give them back their
because every spell they have there is live.
Yeah.
Well, what's crazy is like what they have the Link 2, which the Link 2 now gets to special out the Dark Magician. They
get to like lock you
the
or
ritual
something.
monster. Yeah, they lock you from special
Oh,
something.
yeah.
That and they're making the Herald Link.
Oh yeah.
And
the Mirage Lights.
And a lot of people forget about this. Fafnir has a spell trap negate effect.
It does have a spell. My opponent set up Fafnir, and then the Magic Key trap card, which is the counter trap, which is another spell trap negate.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
So it's like double spell trap negates, and then like they could probably also end on Vanity. So it's like, what are you doing against that?
Scoop.
Let's not forget about Natasha. Like Natasha's a
Natasha's always
crazy
broken,
card, bro.
Natasha is so toxic, dude.
When
that
Natasha
card just steals
I was
games
so
out of
nervous
your
I was gonna
hands.
lose like when I faced Drytron because we went into time, and he's like, oh, I don't think I have a way to like win in time. And I'm thinking to myself, you have Natasha, don't think of it, you have Natasha,
Yeah.
And
That's
he didn't.
funny.
And afterwards, I'm like, you could have just Natasha gained like 200 life points, bro, and I would have lost.
Yeah.
That's
Drytron, man.
Drytron, I don't
I like
Drytron,
winning games
man.
whenever you know, like when you know how your opponent can win, but they don't. Feels good.
Drytron's one of those decks though. Drytron's good right now because no one's prepping for
Oh
it.
yeah.
Well,
that's
Drytron, and it's always been this way ever since it came out. Once people start prepping for Drytron, the deck's like so hard to play because you just get like you get drolled. People just start like playing cards like DD Crow or
Bystials.
Ghost Spell. Ghost Spell is probably not bad right now, actually. 'Cause
Yeah.
it also
I've
hits
seen a
like
lot
big
of
Welcome
people
Labyrinth and
siding
stuff.
Bell right now.
What do you say?
A lot of people are siding
Good
Bell.
in
Yeah,
the
I think it's like
branded.
decent right now. I don't think it's good per se, but I think it's like I wouldn't condemn anybody for citing Ghost Spell, especially if their locals has like stuff like Drytron,
Branded.
a lot of
Yeah.
Labyrinth or what else is meta? Branded. It's
Yeah,
good
it
against
kills
Branded.
Albion.
It's
Yeah,
really
like-
good against branded.
Like that deck's just like that card's just pretty good right now in
Mhm.
general, I think.
Yeah.
Time to break out the Ghost Spells again. No.
That's what I'm talking about. I'm about to break it
I like Ghost Spell. I think Ghost Spell's like my second favorite like Ghost Girl hand trap.
It
Actually,
feels so good when it resolves.
Warner.
My favorite is Ghost Ogre.
Yep, Ogre's my favorite, and then Ghost Spell, and
I
then
love
I don't
Mourner.
know, probably like Ash, but I don't
Ash
really...
and Blue.
Ashen Blue, yes.
Ash.
Mourner
Blue.
is such a card that's just like it's so crazy. It has like one little downside being like, you can't use it when like D shifters out in the
Wait,
out
does
and
Mortar
about.
say you have to send it to graveyard?
Oh wait,
Ghost,
I
Ghost,
think-
or Ogre does.
Ghost Ogre is it?
Ogre says it has to go to graveyard. All the other ones say you can discard it, which means they could be banished.
I guess I'm thinking because like there was like one downside of Mourner because it's not like an effect like it's not like
it has to be
if
on
it-
summon,
on the summon that has to
and
be
it
on
has
the
to be a
summon.
special summon.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Which is like one downside, but it's like also burns for games sometimes.
Burns for game.
Yeah.
They don't like it when they see it get dropped, or when I've heard so many people complain when Spooky
Oh
Dogwood
my
My
God,
least favorite
bro.
is Ghost Sister. Did I ever tell? I mean, I told you guys, but I guess I could tell the podcast. I don't know. I don't think I told this story last week, but I've told this story so many times that I don't even know like if what I've said and when I have it. I was like at table like 2 at a regional like probably a year and a half ago trying to get my invite. It was like round 6 even. It was like round 6 or 7. I'm at, like table 2. I'm X1 XO at the time. I don't remember.
Yeah.
But like I go into game 3 against Sky Striker. I'm going first. I'm playing Sword Soul, so I'm feeling pretty good because I could burn, right? I could burn for 1200. I look at my hand. It's like, okay, I have a way to get to Shishao plus Longin and for a burn. So I go like, but I have to summon a Ecclesia to get there, I think, because I had like Taya in hand or something. I don't remember. I went like Ecclesia effect. My opponent just looks at me and goes, chain Ghost Sister and Spooky Dogwood. And I'm just like, you have got to be kidding me, dude. There's
Dang.
no way I'm about to lose here because of Ghost. And this is before everyone was playing, because people started playing this like at last format or like a format
Yeah.
2 formats ago. No one was playing this card at the time. So I was not ready. I was just like, oh my god.
You know what that
there's-
is right there?
there's-
Camels?
There's no shot. That's a Swartly, dude.
That's an Andy side deck card.
That
right
is an Andy side deck card.
Yo.
That's something that would happen to Austin, and that's
You get
something
hit by
Andy would play,
Andy's
and it
hitting
just
you with
works
something
out,
like
bro. And I'm like, summon Moye, no effects.
That's
Talents,
so
I look
funny,
at his
'cause-
hand, and he has like the most gas, like going second Sky Striker hand I've ever seen. I'm like, I don't know, man. Rip the right of Air Masira out of your hand, I guess. Like, I don't know.
Bro, that's so Andy right there. Like playing something is just like not quite what everyone else is playing, but it just works.
I beat
I
Jake
did
because
not
he
get
had,
my invite that tournament, by the way.
They beat
Was it
Jake
Curry
against-
Kara, bro?
Yeah, Curry Kara.
No,
when he
Curry Kara is
activated,
like actually good right now though, so I can't like.
He didn't
be mad
expect-
at
I was just surprised he incited it into my labyrinth
Yeah.
deck.
it makes
it.
sense.
I'm surprised about that, dude. It just everything works out for Andy, man.
I was like, he's gonna special out Lady, and then when he's gonna attempt to use Lady, and he used Lovely. Oh,
And I had
he-
like played into it so
yeah.
hard.
But the thing was, is like you went Lovely to like knock one out of hand. And I was like, please don't get the Curry Kara out, and then it was still in hand. I was like, yo, Curry Kara, and you're like, yeah.
I said no,
Engage
man,
15.
no. Have Curry Karas dropped in price? Actually, I want to pick them up. But
I want to
I
pick
picked-
up
they were
this
like
up,
$20
too.
at the last I saw.
I
Oh
picked
my
I'll
them
check
god,
up.
they're
that
still
now.
$18.
I would definitely pick them up if you have not picked them up.
I mean, I don't think it's meta enough for it to go up in price, and I don't think it will be because there's just like better options. Yo, low key,
I
the
was, like-
Starlights are a good investment.
They were like 7s a while ago, and I like was like, I should pick those up, and I just didn't. And
I did that. I picked up Cartesias when they were like 13s, and then I
Dude, so
saw
did
that they were-
I
That's
then I
crazy.
traded my Cartesia for a not Ghost, or an ulti Rafflesia. So I was like,
That's
okay,
fair.
cool.
I picked up I pulled a Cartesia when it was like a few bucks. And then I was just like, I'm just gonna hold on to this because like I was like, after tier format, I know Brandon gets so strong. And then bonk,
And then
hit
here we
50,
are.
moved it.
bonk.
now Nick's playing it.
Did you
And he's gonna get first place with it
That'd be
next
great.
weekend.
Dude, I wanted a Cartesia Starlight Rare when they came out, and I just didn't get one. I wish I had.
Feels bad now.
When they were like $200, dude, I wanted one.
What are
I
they
mean,
at
they're still
right
not that
now?
expensive. I would have plus like $100, right? But
I love.
They're
had-
only
they're $290 right now.
Yeah, that's not bad.
I've only ever owned 2 Starlights. One of them was Martha. When I was playing Exo Sisters.
You were
Um,
low key crazy with that deck.
The
I'm gonna
2
say
days
that.
Andy played Exorcister.
Yeah,
You were cracked with that deck, Andy.
that deck was a lot of fun. Yeah, a lot of fun. Let me just activate Necro Valley.
I'm going to activate Dimensional Fisher.
Mm.
Act
And
D
then I'm going
Fisher.
to set up 3
You just-
Vanishes and pass
You
my
just were
turn.
really confident in the lines. I feel like
That deck was
you were
cracked.
like, bop, 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 bop.
Carpe Divum, where was it? Where you could just activate it while you had Mystic Might out on the field. You could Carpe Divum activate Mystic Mind, so you could play on your turn with Mystic
Oh.
Mind still on the field. Was broken. And then the other one, of course, the one that is Evil Twins and Himmel's got me.
The
I
Lilith
love, dude. I've been seeing so many lists play Lilith, not play Lilith Treat. I'm like, I understand, but hey, I got a Starlight, I gotta play it.
Uh-oh.
What was that?
I'm really oh
He's-
my god. Jake, I'm not gonna lie, I'm really hoping that Kashtira dips a little bit because I am like I'm trying to
You wanna
play
try it
the
too.
Kashtira tier limit variant so bad. It's
Yeah,
like the
that gets a
right
lot of
amount
fun.
of like free flow for the deck where I like that. It just looks like so much
yeah,
fun.
yeah,
Like it's like that. It's like a
Dude,
nice.
I still have that
mid-range,
put
like,
together.
build.
yeah.
Nick, if you want to play that deck at any point, let me know.
I
'cause I have
might.
the whole thing.
You have all the Kashtira cards symbols?
No, but I mean, I just play it with Fenrir.
Oh yeah,
and,
I
the
most-
one
Oh.
shield
I
spell.
wanted to do it with
I
more
have,
like
Kashtira.
having the big
Focus
Kashtira image. I mean, I didn't test a lot of it, but having too many cash cards felt really like, I don't know, cloggy to me
Mhm.
in the deck. In a deck where you kind of have to mill a lot of cards to get your plays off.
True. I think it's like an.
Fenrir's
Do
Yeah,
you
either
remember?
40 bucks.
Do you remember when like the photon wave of Kashtira cards got
Oh.
announced,
Yeah.
and people were literally just mushing Kashtira and Tyrants together, and it worked because they were just so
Yes.
strong.
Yeah.
I mean, Fenrir.
Thank
Search
God
Tier
that
One
deck never
Kashtira is
existed.
Pretty good, dude.
And then
Like,
Kid Kalos got
Uh-huh.
banned. Kid
What'd you say?
Kalos, man.
dude, yeah. What am I gonna do with my 4 copies of Kit Kalos now?
Kid Kalos
Somebody bought
was,
him off me. I literally had 4
That's
too, and somebody bought him,
crazy.
and I was like,
Kid Kalos was such a disgusting
him.
Oh.
card.
Oh, the card was like a plus like
Jake.
3. Do I have
Andy, I had always said that Kalos felt like a card that you thought of.
Andy just made this card
That's a
up.
great point. Oh
By the
my
way,
God.
we're just gonna and
Because
the cherry-
Andy would say some stuff like that, like what if they had a card that did this and this and this and this and this?
and you could just
We would just
summon
like,
it
"Do
with.
not see how that's broken. And he goes, "What do you mean?"
What do you mean? And
How
and
is that
by,
broken?
It's a
Andy-
big printed.
and then by the way, it's like if you don't have the materials, let me just. It's a level 5, so you can instant
Andy.
fusion it.
I remember
right.
dueling you when you were playing tier with just shoving it into decks, and you
Yeah.
were confused as to why I was mad at your tier limit cards. I could not get past how broken they were, and you did not understand why they were so broken. You played through like
What do you
8
mean?
interruptions with like 2 cards. Insane,
Oh
dude.
man.
You're looking at the ash blossom in your hand, and you're like, "This doesn't."
No, it
actually
does
hit
nothing.
the
You want to hit the cacao?
You're like,
Yeah.
this hits like
Oh my
Shaylin.
God. The deck was so cool.
It was cool. It was cool.
It's still cool.
Before-
And now it's like crazy.
it's-
Now
now
it's
it's-
more cool because
I think
not
it's
everyone's
really
playing
cool.
it.
It's like it takes a lot of mind to like actually like play that
lot
deck
of
now.
mind.
A lot of
mind
big
and
mind.
G
A lot of
Big
mind and a lot of luck, bro. A lot
Mega
of
Big
mind.
mind moments.
Yeah,
Mega mind.
mega mind.
Oh man.
Oh,
I was excited. Nick and I were talking the other day at work about the mana cards are looking really cool right now.
Oh, I can tell
Boys,
Nick's excited.
I am so
Yeah.
excited for this stuff.
He was telling me about
Holy
some end boards,
crap.
and he was showing me this list. He was like,
Are they like actually good?
Yes.
I haven't like looked enough into them and looked enough testing for it.
I
It's
showed
definitely
Jake,
cool.
terribly explained it, but this deck is, I think it's gonna be crazy. I don't know. The way the Scareclaw
Is that why
stuff-
you're asking for
Yes,
Beast
I
of
bought 2.
Starfrost?
They're coming.
he also
They're
asked
coming.
you.
I got a couple.
Yeah,
Yes, man.
he's like, do you have Scareclaw
Those
cards and
Scareclaw
Beast of
cards
Starfrost?
meld way too well with that deck. It's crazy.
yeah.
Scareclaw is also a deck that's like kind of underrated right now.
Dude, I don't know what that deck does. I've
makes-
played it like
they
3
make a big
times,
link.
faced it like 3 times. I'm just like, I don't.
You
know
just
what's
say
happening,
Nibiru,
man.
and I did it 2 times at that last regional we played at, and the guy I beat him in 10 minutes.
Oh,
He
was
just
really
he just
sad.
made
10
6
minutes.
monsters, and then I just said Nib, and he went, "Ow, pass."
Ow.
It was so
My favorite dude, is so we had this guy. This just reminds me. We had this guy. He used to come to our locals quite a bit. He'd play 6 samurais, kind of going back to what we were saying. And you'd interact. He'd start comboing, doing his 6 Sam combo, and you just go, "I'm gonna Veiler that," and he'd be like, "Oh man, you had the Veiler. You had you had
That's
one of
awesome.
them.
Yeah,
Many
yeah.
interruptions that stopped this deck." And
Yeah.
Jake knows what I'm talking about.
I know exactly what you're talking about, dude.
Dude, I
That's so
love
funny.
the guy.
He said it to
was
me
always
too.
so
He's like,
funny,
man,
dude.
man, effect Veiler. I was like, bro, this card's been out for so long.
Had the Veiler.
I was like, this
You just
card
had
You
to
had
have it
Ash
every
Blossom,
meta.
bro. You nibbed me, man.
So funny.
Another reason why I was contemplating on whether I'm playing ninjas because I went against Sean with ninjas. He was playing trap chicks. This man, I went like my full combo is literally just normal summon Hanzo, set 4 pass.
That is full combo.
But then he goes battle phase, and I'm just like, scoop. I don't even want to play. And then I go,
He said nope.
I say, and then I go game 2, and then I make full board again with Maizen this time, and then he's like battle phase. I'm like, I hate this deck
Andy,
so
are you
much.
citing Solemns?
No.
Oh my god. Andy's like not citing any outs to evenly matched, and he's like,
They just gotta get
guess I
it.
lose.
A 3
I
of them
guess I
deck.
lose.
mean, come on.
you could also side Artifact to Lancia. That also
Artifact
works
Lancia.
against evenly matched.
Pot of Prosperity into Lancia. Get drolled.
Get drolled.
Get trolled.
Get drolled. Yeah, what are you gonna do if you get drolled? Then your Hanzo summon doesn't do anything.
Yeah, I actually cry.
Are ninjas fun, Andy? Are you really liking it?
I like ninjas a lot. Ninjas are
Yeah.
so fun. It's just because the way that the game is played, it's a control deck. It's a weak control deck. Like it loses because it bricks. Like if you don't have any, like if you're traps, then you just sort of lose. But what benefits it is that like if your opponent just lunar eclipse your board, you're like okay with that because your traps say tribute set monsters or like, and it's just like kind of
Right.
crazy. But we're in a format now that's focused on like setting cards like with the trap tricks, and like it actually hurts like Kashtira.
Dude,
Geo's a fucking card, bro. I'm not gonna...
I miss the really like the when they introduced these cards like the Earth Armor Ninja and Aqua Armor Ninja. I miss those like that era. That was fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like obviously these cards are not very good, and the deck like was never like fantastic or whatever. But like everyone
Yeah.
always liked it.
I'm glad it's getting. It's like there's like gonna be like if I go to the regional, there's probably gonna be like 10 people playing ninjas, if not
I remember
5.
Andy was asking. He's like, "Does anyone have a Blade Armor Ninja?"
Oh.
And I was like, "Dude, that card was like only ever played in Elemental Heroes. Me and Elbow TK."
I made that card against.
You just go Blade Armor Ninja, detached target itself, swing twice for 22 each.
You can target itself. I'm gonna be, that's pretty
And
good.
his spicy
Andy,
tech.
I'm teaching Andy the text.
He's like, I'm gonna be playing
like
ninjas
11,
next.
bro.
Yeah, that's broken.
As Andy, you gotta play ninjas next
Please.
weekend, man.
I can. I just need
You
the.
just
I
gotta do
literally.
it, man.
I gotta pick up the prosperities from Modder. Thank you, Modder.
Is Modern moving you prosperity? Is he letting you
He
borrow?
moved them. He moved them to
nice.
me.
Oh heck
so
yeah, dude.
I'll be getting them this weekend. This not this weekend. The next weekend.
At the
and-
regional.
At the regionals. I just gotta figure out what the deck's gonna look like. If like that's if Runic doesn't come up. But I mean, I could play Runic in the YCS or like in my locals. Gotta play ninjas then. I just gotta figure out how the deck is because there are little things here and there that I want to be able to add in.
Yeah. What are you guys expecting to see the most at next weekend?
Brandon,
mainly Yu-Gi-Oh decks, but like maybe some Magic
Yeah.
the Gathering decks as well.
I
Digimon.
hope not.
Oh yeah, not Magic.
I'm gonna see a lot of
Well,
Sword Soul and Brandon.
Probably a lot of branded. It's gonna be a lot of
branded,
branded and a lot of. I mean, it's gonna be probably a lot of Trap
Yeah.
Tricks branded, Kashtira, and
Yep.
Labyrinth.
Oh, and
like
Math Mech. Ugh.
that deck's
Oh,
scary.
That Math Mech is actually very good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that deck
Oh.
scares me.
Being able to just make
Circular.
it
Circular just being full combo, dude. Yeah.
Circular resolving is like, bruh.
circular was like
Yeah,
the
then
most
they if
crazy.
Lapulation
cost.
resolves, you just like lose.
Yeah.
They go super factorial, and you're like, I don't have the out, and they go, they go send, non-target, hand monster spell trap, and you're like, that's awesome, man.
It's so
That's really
crazy.
cool.
And then not only that, it's just like at the end of it, it's just like they can just go IP into Avramax, and it's like, bro,
Yeah, out this.
out this, yeah, how
Out this,
about
buddy.
yeah. And then let me make decode talker, or let me just make the most broken combo of the game. Just transcode, update jammer, make
That's
access
pretty
code.
sweet.
Yo, that's another deck that that Ghost Spell is really, really, really good against. If you see more Math Mech, like if you expect a lot of Math Mech Drytron branded, Bell's actually probably really good. Like being able to hit, I mean, we already mentioned the other decks, but then also being able to hit Super Factorial for Math Mech is insane. Like their whole board is like Super Factorial pass.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
What other side cards
you can
are
stop
good
Super-
right now then? If
what other
Um,
cards?
Lancia.
okay.
Lancia's really good.
Lance
I was
is pretty
thinking of
good.
trying Dark Hole
Um,
for a little bit because of
Dark Hole
is really
Deadly
good.
Like-
so bad.
Yeah, you have no out to Iblis. Siding it Dark Hole's like not that bad. Probably.
I have not seen an
enemy
anyone
controller, dude.
summon Ibli, but
Tribute
then
the
again,
Iblis.
yeah, I was gonna say.
I think most people are
Enemy
off Iblis.
controller kind of nice.
I was able to move one of my Iblis, thank God, last week. I got two more.
That's funny.
But
we said Ghost Spell, Lancia. I also feel like, I I'm gonna
Droll.
say I think Droll. I think
Yes.
Kurikara is a low key like a really good card. It's only
Yeah.
good for certain matchups though, because
That's why like I'm avoiding it. You have to play it if you know your deck loses to certain matchups that the
Yeah.
card's good against, and like that's it. Like if your deck auto wins some other matchups, it's probably fine. That's the
Yeah.
issue I've always had with the cards. I feel like it's too situational to be widely played.
yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Um, Of course, you get your back row removal, all that good
Mhm.
stuff. To be honest, I thought Sorcel was gonna be more popular, but it's too fair still.
It doesn't feel like it does
Mhm.
enough, I feel. And
Yeah.
there's too many interruptions right now that people are playing, because the outs that people are playing for decks like Kashtira and Branded are also good against Sorcel.
Yeah.
Lancia actually
Nib and
sucks
And, like,
being
Barrier hurt so
put
bad,
on
dude.
Lancia.
And Branded and Kashtira just like put up better end boards than Sorcel will. And like Branded is not that expensive, all things considered.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
if you're gonna play Sorcel, just spend a little bit extra money and just play like Branded. It's probably the better option. Or play Trap Tricks. That deck's really, really good.
Mhm.
Trap Tricks is really good.
I'm turning Jake into a Trap Tricks believer. He
The
didn't
deck's
really like the
crazy.
deck. It's so strong,
don't know,
dude.
man.
Sarah is insane.
It's a crazy deck.
And Jake read the
But it
field
is-
spell for the
it
first
is easy
time
to
yesterday.
break.
He's like, "What is this card?"
I was like 3 effects, bro. Come on.
Sometimes the boards are easy to
Sarah's
break.
gross.
Sometimes
say?
the boards are just kind of easy to break.
Yeah, sometimes the boards are easy to break. Simply just have like evenly matched, and it's really
Right,
easy
Simply.
to draw evenly matched
I
game
mean,
one.
Hold it. I'm gonna imperm the Sarah.
Yeah,
Dude,
that's
Sarah
the
effect chain
real
imperm
sad-
resolves.
I miss having them in my side. Or main. I
about in
love.
the
Well,
main?
yeah, I mean in the main.
Imperm in the main should
But,
always
like,
happen.
Yeah,
I
I had
know.
my-
I
my
just,
imperms-
there's
I
other
haven't
cards
played-
I want to run right now.
I haven't really missed imperms in any of my decks that I'm playing. If I'm gonna be honest.
Mm.
I also feel like
Imperm
Bestials,
Faker and
Oh.
Labyrinth.
Bestials are okay, but I
True.
just don't feel like they aren't deserving enough to be in the side deck at the moment.
Yeah, I want to move my Bestials. Look,
Yeah.
I
I
moved them
don't
a
think they're
while
very good
ago.
right now.
It's just kind of like a branded thing at
Yeah.
this point.
Brandon,
I'm
or
only
Dragon?
keeping like
He was,
one.
even
I'm
Dragon
only
Man.
keeping like
It's
2 of them, I think.
Yeah, it's
Keep
like
a Sarah in
Saranir plus
there.
Lubellion.
Yeah, I think I'm running
Lubellion.
one mag and a Druisworm in the side just because I want to try it.
Why not? For
Sure.
like some
For
random
the-
matchup.
Yeah, honestly.
The one person playing tier elements
No,
still.
yeah, just for like a couple stuff, math mech and whatnot.
Dude, I still need my super rare tier cards. I don't have like my
I
my
have them,
OTS.
Nimmels.
What do you say?
I have them.
A super Hoffness and Merle.
Yeah, if you want them.
I need them.
I have-
They're like
I
a
also
dollar
have
each.
I have a super
can have 'em.
some Marley
Have it.
somewhere.
Yeah, have this.
Oh,
Do you guys think
nice.
that Kashtira?
I need two
hate-
more Rhino Hearts too.
Was that?
Uh,
I need two more ulti Rhino Hearts.
Oh.
They're $23 right now.
Yeah, they're pretty cheap.
That's crazy. Card's cool.
Wonder why.
Yeah.
Sprite Blue ultis look crazy.
I'll hold by
They
it. In
do.
testing that deck, I think Diviner of the Herald's the best normal summon in that deck, and it's like not even
It's
close.
crazy. Because it gets you to Baron plus Mill 5.
Yeah, exactly. And you kind of need Baron right now. Baron's insane in like most matchups.
If you
Yo,
can get
so-
to Diviner, you're playing.
Playing Grapha, the fusion Grapha, is actually kind of disgusting.
Dude, I don't own one of those. I need
That
one.
card is so
That
cool.
That
dude.
card is gross. I've seen it being played against a Sword Soul player, and the Sword Soul activates Pot of Desires, not realizing what that card does. So you banish it, then it's like, oh, let me just discard a card. Discarding Sharon.
Yeah, Sharon.
It's
effect.
like, yo.
Oh my
Make
God.
Rocalos.
It's so gross that you
Yeah.
just banished 10 and you made him discard a tier card. You're not. Oh, so broken.
The only thing that kind of sucks about Grapha is like it only. Well, obviously, I mean, it makes sense this way, right? It only changes the effects of normal spells and traps. You can't really change the effects of continuous traps, so it makes sense. But
Yeah.
so you that deck is still very vulnerable to floodgates, unless you have Baron.
Also Nib.
No,
No.
Nib.
no. Like tier, like I always play like around Nib, not around Nib, but you don't really
Just
care
make
about
bull
Nib because you're
colors.
always setting up a Baron or a roll Kalos by summon 5.
That's
Yeah.
insane.
It's pretty nice. It is like imagine having to worry about Nib on top of Tier's weaknesses.
Mm-hmm. I think the fact that like the way the tier has to be played now, it's almost easier. Like you're forced to play around Nib because that's the only line the deck has.
Yeah. Yep.
But yeah, guys, we've been going for quite a bit. It's been a little over an hour.
Yeah, we
probably
can
get wrapped
we can
up
wrap it
pretty
up here
soon.
for sure.
That was good.
Anything you guys want to add?
Nothing for me here. I mean, we got the regional next week. We're gonna go.
super
Probably
stoked.
all of us are gonna take the top 4 positions. I
Oh
think
yeah.
so.
Oh my god.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's guaranteed actually.
Yep. That's pretty much
Guaranteed.
just what's gonna happen.
Yeah, I'm playing Abyss Actors.
Oh my god.
I'm not. I just saw the curtain raiser next to me on my desk, and I
Yes.
said, "Yep, that's the deck."
Yeah, Abyss Actors. You won't.
You're right. I don't own that
my
deck.
gosh.
I was gonna say, Triff said 1 card combo equals 7 negates.
Yeah, man.
That man
This
loves
actor's
broken.
pendulums.
Nick doesn't
All right, guys.
understand pendulums, but
Well, we're gonna.
That's
I
for
think-
another episode.
Yeah. I think we're gonna wrap things up there. So make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell if you like the content. If you don't worry about it. Other than that, peace, guys.
You'll have
Love
a
you.
nice day,
Later.
everyone.
Bye.